Been so long. Hey guys, how we all doing? Oh, one second, I think Countdown's playing again. Okay, cool. Hey, how are we all doing? Today we've got Dimitrov versus Paul in the final of Stockholm. We're going to get started real soon. Warm-up has just been commencing. This is the first time these two have played in 4 years, which is, I don't understand how exactly that's happened. It's very strange with two players that have been in the top 20 or so for a while. That should be good. Final of the tournament. Same tournament where Wawrinka's been doing extremely well. It should be interesting to watch. Dimitrov played a great match yesterday against Talon Grigor. And now it is the final of the tournament. Two of the most athletic guys on tour in the last 5 years, no doubt. Dimitrov's been playing longer than that. It's Tommy Paul to serve first. We're getting started up in Stockholm. Hopefully you guys are doing good. Joining in. Forehand Paul in the backhand Dimitrov. Backhand volley Paul. Forehand Dimitrov. It's a lob which goes out. 15-love. That's the first point they've played since 2020 when they split meetings at the two hardcourt slams. Tommy Paul won their first meeting in a fifth set tiebreaker, 7-6 in the fifth. And then Dimitrov beat Tommy Paul in straight sets in the U.S. Open. Forehand Dimitrov, the backhand of Paul, backhand slice Dimitrov, that's into the bottom of the net, right at the bottom of the net. 30-love for Tommy Paul. Hey, how's it going, Matthew? Grigor looked jaded after yesterday. Yes, he did. Expect Tommy Paul to win this final. Paul's been looking really, really solid. I mean, 6-2, 6-3 versus Wawrinka. That performance speaks volumes for itself. But I don't know. I don't think it's necessarily. I mean, Dimitrov. I don't know. I don't think it's necessarily going to be super one-sided or anything. But I'm gonna go Tommy Paul though. I think Paul's gonna win. But I'm gonna say Paul wins in 3 sets. Dimitrov just won't have much left in the tank for the third. That's my prediction. 40-love here, Paul getting started. But Paul's been playing really, really good. This is a 250 event, so they won't be able to pile up that many points together to rise their ranking, but I am curious how close Tommy Paul is getting to the top 10, because it feels like, to me, like Tommy Paul should be a top 10 player at some point. I don't know if you guys feel the same, but I feel like Tommy Paul should be a top 10 player at some point. Ben Shelton's going to be at some point. It would be cool to see Tommy Paul get there. Fritz has already gone there. It'd be great to see Korda get there. I expect him to at some point, hopefully. Goes wide from Tommy Paul. 40-15. First point on the board for Grigor Dimitrov. I will say this. Great tournament for Dimitrov. Another final. Still top 10 in the world. If he could pick up a title here, especially after that semifinal, which was crazy, then that would be massive for his confidence, especially going to Australia, where I still think is his best chance to have his best ever slam performance. Oh, forehand pickup from Paul. That's what we want to see from a final. Crowd likes it too. Wow, that was so good. Pass from Dimitrov out of nowhere. Flattens it out, and Tommy Paul is waiting there with a forehand half volley pickup. All right. All right. I mean, that's so good from Paul. So casual. Dude's more casual than Fed. Cool. I'm going Tommy Paul in 3 sets, but I don't know. My gut feeling says Dimitrov. I'll just be honest. My gut feeling says Dimitrov's still going to win somehow. But my head says Paul, because that makes more sense to me, because I agree that Dimitrov was jaded in that semifinal. Live rankings, Tommy Paul has moved up to number 12, which is his career high ranking. I mean, he's right behind Tsitsipas and Dimitrov, to be fair. Like, those guys are stopping him from getting into the top 10, or to Dimitrov specifically. So I don't think that that's a definite, like, Like, I think easily Tommy Paul could get in front of those two guys. Now, can he get in front of Dimitrov or Ruud? I don't know. But can he get in front of those two guys? Like, I definitely think it's possible. So I would watch out for Tommy Paul. I think he could be top 10 by January or February, if not earlier, with Paris maybe. We'll see. I didn't realize Holger Rune was 14th in the world, by the way. I thought he was like down to 20th or something. So he's still somewhere around the conversation. Forehand Dimitrov inside out, the back into Paul down the line. Forehand Dimitrov goes way up high and long, left 30. I could be way off. It could be Tommy Paul 6'2", 6'1". We'll see. Dimitrov looks less than sprightly. Hope it's just how he looks and not how he plays. I agree. So far, it's not been too hot, has it? He doesn't look like he's got a spring to step, like you're saying. Serve Grigor, forehand to Paul. Forehand Grigor, the back into Paul. Forehand to Grigor. Back into Paul cross court, back into Grigor. The back into Paul. Slice battle here going on. Another slice, the forehand to Tommy. Backhand, Grigor hits over, bats into the net. Dimitrov really looks like he just doesn't have any spring in his step whatsoever. Even getting up to that backhand, it just looks like he doesn't have the leg strength right now to hit over his backhand at all and put that strength into it. Man, not a great start for Grigor. Love 40. It was an epic semifinal against Grigspor that really took a lot out of Grigor very clearly. Serve, that's in the net. That's not a good looking first serve either. Serve from Dimitrov. Forehand to Paul is a great return. Dimitrov is going to have two nightmares in this match. One is his own body. The other is Tommy Paul. 2-0 for Paul. I like to see this from the American. I like Tommy Paul. I like guys who are so good and just like being under the radar. Like, he is the definition of an underrated player. He's one of the most clearly underrated players that I've seen while I've watched tennis. Like, it's so clear that he's underrated and goes under the radar. Because he's one of the best athletes on the tour. He's one of the biggest talents on the tour. He's got a great mindset when playing the top guys. He's just a solid player. And he's got a great ball striker. And yeah, I mean, he hasn't quite figured it out at the slams in general. Not how he would want to, at least in terms of making a constant deep runs at slams. But listen, he's been in semis of Australia, and I think he can get there. So hasn't made a Masters final, hasn't made a Grand Slam final, but I hope he does, because he certainly deserves that. But that is kind of crazy that he hasn't. But he's probably the best player that hasn't made a big final, I would think. As Shelton hasn't made a big final. That's an interesting question. Who are the best players in the world that have not made a big final? I mean, Paul hasn't made like a bajillion finals in general, to be honest. But, well, no, I mean, he's made 7. This is 7th now. So, yeah, because this is his 4th final this year, which is pretty impressive. That's pretty damn impressive. Last one was an ATP 500 final, which he won in Queens. So, Tommy Paul has had a hell of a year. Forehand Paul, the backhand slice. Dimitrov just not moving, right? Dimitrov looks half like a shell of himself. He looks like half of his movement is just awry, to be honest. And I see a worried look in Dimitrov's eye. I mean, he's gonna compete here, but I mean, this could end ugly. This could be like I don't know. I'm gonna bring up a moment I don't know if everybody will understand, but this could be a Yuzhny versus Rafa in Doha. All right, Doha, I think, in 2008. Where Rafa played like 3 hours and 55 minutes in the semifinals. And then he was so tired, he lost a bagel and a breadstick to Mikhail Yuzhny in the final. Also, Yuzhny played out of his mind. But forehand cross court, forehand of Dimitrov, backhand into the backhand of Dimitrov. That's into the ground, 3-0. All right, not a good start for Dimitrov. Perfection from Paul. 3-0 for the American, trying to pick up his 5th title, I think. his 4th title. Tommy Paul going for his 4th title. He's 3-3 in finals. He's lost to Dimitrov in Acapulco in 3 sets. He's lost to Cerundolo, who was his nightmare last year, in Eastbourne in 3 sets. And he lost to Taylor Fritz in straight sets earlier this year in Delray Beach. He's beaten Musetti in Queens. He's beaten Girone in Dallas, and he's beaten Shapovalov in Stockholm. Honestly, it's a weird opponents list so far. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, no offense to Paul, because I am very high on Paul, but it's not like, I don't know. Back in 2021, I guess Shapovalov was ranked higher, but yeah, it's just kind of a weird Shapovalov, Demonor, Cerundolo, Girone, Fritz, Musetti, Dimitrov. It's just there's no big 3. There's not even really a Tsitsipas, who's been as high as number 3 or 4 in the world. I think the highest ranking there was Fritz, who got to 5. Now Dimitrov. But anyway, doesn't take any credit away from Paul. Yeah, it's not too early for me. I'm all good. It's like 9 o'clock, so I'm doing all good. If Paul does win, his neck will be safe. No girlfriend in sight. Yeah, no chokeholds from his girlfriend trying to get him to pose for a photo shoot. Yeah, that was a bit weird. Last time, no doubt. A bit of a weird sight. Man, it made me slightly uncomfortable, but public relationships aren't always what they seem. You never know just from one moment, but that was a talked about thing. I like seeing Tommy Paul win on grass courts. I've been a high believer in Tommy Paul on a grass court for a while. I still am. Watch out for this guy on grass. Forehand down the line, backhand slice, the backhand of Paul, backhand of Dimitrov down the line, forehand of Paul down the middle, forehand Dimitrov, backhand of Paul nearly gets a passing shot, but a better point from Dimitrov where he really is very aggressive. Let's see if how much strenuous effort that takes from the Bulgarian. But if he can keep that up, then we've got a match on our hands. That's the question we've got, right? Make a first serve and use your weapons. He's got a lot of them. He's got a lot of tools to work with. He's got a great ball striker, great power. You see that there with the forehand down the line, 30 love. Now, can Grigor keep this up? That's the question. Those are a couple of points that look very foreign to how he looked earlier. Here, hopefully that's looking better on the screen. All right, cool. Forehand, it's just a monstrous return from Tommy Paul. He's zoned in here. Crazy. Just pummeling the Dimitrov serve. Ruthless from Paul. Wow, that was crazy shots from Paul. Serve here from Dimitrov. Can Paul do it again? Forehand, way up high. Forehand of Dimitrov, cross court. Forehand of Paul. It's too good from Grigor. Too good from Grigor. 40-30. By the way, this sweatshirt that I'm wearing, I got it from the Newport Hall of Fame. Newport Tennis Hall of Fame. I don't know if you see. Let me see. I'm looking on the screen. Don't know if you see this, but it says Infosys Tennis Hall of Fame. That's what the sweatshirt is. So when I'm wearing it, I'm pure tennis history, baby. The Hall of Fame was awesome. If anybody has a chance to go to the Hall of Fame Museum, I highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. Forehand of Dimitrov, forehand of Paul, forehand of Dimitrov, backhand Paul, backhand slice Dimitrov, forehand Paul, inside out, backhand Dimitrov, forehand of Paul, that goes out. Okay. Good service hold from Grigor. Now can he do it on the return of serve as well? Dimitrov's serve has been so good over the last year and some change. So he's going to get some games like that. Can he do it on the return of serve? Good defense from Dimitrov as well. Moving a little bit less gingerly there. Maybe caught Paul off guard. Also, Paul just a little bit overcomplicated with the forehand, honestly. Dimitrov repping the Lacoste alligator. Forehand Dimitrov. Back into Paul. Back in Dimitrov's slice. Very good. Oh, what a slice from Paul. Backhand. Cross score. Oh, right off the baseline. Lucky from Paul. But a great point, though. Very good from Tommy Paul. 15 love. Backhand slice Dimitrov. That's in the net. 30 love. Quick from Paul. Getting up to the races here in this match. In fact, he's so quick, he's already back at the line to serve. Forehand return. Fed like forehand volley from the baseline from Paul, but it goes long. 30-15. He's playing well, but he can't hit a Federer shot apparently right now. By the way, that Lacoste alligator on Dimitrov's shirt, I learned that the reason it's an alligator is because Lacoste, which is as you may know, named after Henri Lacoste, who was a very, very, very good tennis player, one of the best in his day. Back in volley, Paul pummels it. He's been kind of in the zone in the first 4 games, Paul, but a little bit loose. And maybe a chance for Dimitrov, who's kind of come out of nowhere here in the last couple of games, playing better. Great slide from Dimitrov. And maybe the better movement has caught Paul off guard, but it's a bad volley from Paul. The American fumbles the BH volley. Serve down the tee. Dimitrov can't handle the pace. 40-30. No, but it's so Lacoste is named after Henri Lacoste, who's one of the best players of his era, and Lacoste used to be nicknamed the Alligator, so that's why it's an alligator. It's branded directly after Lacoste, and it's not just a tennis brand; it's more than that. But it's named after the famous tennis player Henri Lacoste. So, just an interesting tidbit for you. Forehand across court, forehand of Paul, great athleticism on display. Backhand Dimitrov. Point of the match by a country mile to this point so far. Beautiful. When tennis becomes art. Fed-esque. Some great movement and lateral movement from Paul, but Dimitrov's had enough of it, and it's just too good. It's just too good. That's all it is. The one-handed backhand, that's why it still has a place at the top of the game, because can a two-handed backhand do that? Unless your name's Novak, I don't think so. It's a bad forehand return. Good serve, but Dimitrov would want that return back. Right into the net. How's it going, Alexander? I'm from Border de Campo, Brazil. Hey, good to have you from Brazil. Do you have the link to the game? I do not, unfortunately. I can't. I don't have a link to the game. It's on Tennis TV. You can watch it on Tennis TV. I'm sure Tennis Channel is showing it, but I don't think Tennis Channel goes to Brazil. So honestly, I don't know. I don't know. You can look up TV options and streaming options for different tennis tournaments, and hopefully it can say it for what the option is for South America. But I hope you find a way to watch it. But I appreciate you joining in to watch from Brazil. It's great. Backhand slice, forehand inside out, forehand slice. Oh, good eye from Paul, because that was getting lower and lower as it sliced down, and it just landed out. Advantage to one Tommy Paul. Wow, it's nearly so good from Dimitrov. Still some great skill, honestly, from Grigor, but doesn't matter. It's crazy, because if you hit it out, the skill no longer matters. That shot took great skill from Dimitrov, but he hit it out. Great ace from Paul. 4-1. 4-1. Wonder why they demoted the Newport event. I mean, honestly, 2-week Masters. It's the 2-week Masters that never end that are getting rid of 250 events everywhere. We've only seen the start of it. If we keep going with 2-week Masters, there are going to be more player injuries. There's going to be less historic tournaments, 250s, 500s. In fact, what's going to happen is the top players are only going to play maybe 11 to 13 events the whole year. They're going to play the Masters. They're going to play the Slams. They're going to play the ATP Finals, and that might just be it. Maybe Davis Cup and Laver Cup. I don't know. That's what we're going towards. And then the players that are in the Challengers 250s, they're going to be playing a whole different tour. And what's going to happen is tennis is going to become less global. All the surfaces are going to become the same. Maybe they want the score system to be the same everywhere and for tennis to be quicker and for the schedule to be less of a nightmare. So they're going to ruin tennis and make it all best of 3 sets. I'm telling you, tennis is not necessarily guiding towards a good direction. If we wanted to go towards a good direction where we keep the very necessary best of 5 sets that can never be taken away from the game, in my opinion, and if we want to keep the tennis full of variety and different surfaces to keep it exciting, if we want to, keep it global where we have a lot of, one of the beautiful things about this sport, like if we want to bring out the beautiful parts of the sport and keep it going, we need to do that because the people at the top of tennis, they're making decisions that might not necessarily be a tennis fan's decision. They're doing a tennis marketing decision that's bad because as long as the quality of the sport needs to be there, that's good tennis marketing. Dimitrov returns from the due side, let him down this game. Absolutely. Just some poor ones. I agree with you. Forehand down the line, back in lob. Oh, wow. Nearly landed in from Paul, but just goes out. That also took some skill. That lob from Paul, but it goes out, so it doesn't matter. Listen, I'm happy myself. I'm on a 5 tennis match winning streak. I'm not playing in that high of a level for my Alta matches, but I've won 5 in a row at line 1. So I'm happy about that. It makes me excited to commentate a match because I'm like, I know what I'm talking about. Not really. I don't. That doesn't make me necessarily know what I'm talking about more, but it makes me have a little bit of inner confidence. Yeah, at least I am capable of winning. Like you win an Alta match, you're like, yeah, I'm actually the best in the world. Alcaraz would have nothing on me. Winning at D1 Alta or whatever. I don't play D1, but I don't even know if that's a level that exists. Serve goes long from Dimitrov. Second serve from Grigor. Kick serve. Back into Paul. Back in Dimitrov. Way up high. That goes long. 30-15. They will use the argument about equality, scheduling, and the very late finishes to take best of 5 away. Yes, exactly. I think that those. I mean, the thing is, anything that's that awesome is going to have a lot of arguments against it. Period. Anything that's ever been awesome has lots of arguments against it. So people are gonna come with pitchforks, and we just have to, just say, well, if you want to ruin tennis, you'll have to go through us. I mean, it sounds a bit corny, but I mean, legit. If you want to ruin the game, then you're gonna have to fight hard because best of 5 is the most crucial thing for tennis to be the greatest sport in the world, which I believe it is. It needs to be there, 100%. There's no but maybe this could happen. No. Because it's very obvious. I mean, the reason I say that is best of 5 accentuates everything that's good about tennis. So anything that's like that, yeah, keep it. Anything like best of 5 is just an incredible thing for the sport. And all these guys are high-level athletes who, that's what makes tennis one of the hardest sports. I played 3.5 hours Saturday before last, and I was physically spent. But I was like, listen, if I had to play best of 5, I would play it. But these guys, but especially for these guys who are putting in the effort in the gym every day, eating the right things, practicing, playing in like all the time. Like they're capable of playing best of 5, and that creates like some of the most memorable matches, not just for fans but for players. Back and cross court, the backhand Dimitrov slice, forehand to Paul. Backhand Dimitrov cross court, backhand to Paul. That goes out. Deuce. 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 Deuce, deuce, deuce. Masters, Device, and Davis Cup took away best of 5. Has that impacted your enjoyment? That's a good question, Matthew. For Davis Cup, yes. I still enjoy them, but I would rather Masters final. They have taken away my enjoyment for both of those things from it. Backhand Dimitrov, the forehand of Paul. It's in the net. Advantage to Dimitrov. Well, honestly, I wasn't watching at a time where Masters finals did have best of 5 finals, but whenever I watch best of 5 Masters finals, I enjoy it more than when I watch best of 3. Now, does that mean every best of 5 final is better than every best of 3 final? Clearly, no. Clearly, no. There's always exceptions, but the vast majority of best of 5 matches are better than the vast majority of best of 3 matches. The vast majority. Forehand. Oh, it's a terrible. That's a terrible shank from Dimitrov. I mean, that was. Yeah, Dimitrov was trying to hit it onto a different court. I wouldn't be surprised that went out of the stadium. Completely just shot sideways away from Grigor. Listen, I went to a haunted house last night. That shot would be scarier than anything I saw in there. That was horrific. Tommy Paul's in the zone. He is just in the zone. Tommy Paul is playing like a top 5 player almost. Like, he's playing absolutely unbelievable. What a backhand. What an athlete, man. Tommy Paul. With every shot. I mean, just an incredible injection of pace. And wow. I mean, how do you do that and your legs don't fall over? You're just putting in all that strength and you can just guide it down the line like it's nothing. Crazy. Incredible rotation as well into that shot. Forehand return, very good from Paul. Forehand cross court. Great sliding shot from Paul. Backhand goes out. Yeah, tennis gods are not going to allow Tommy Paul that. He's like, you're not at Sinner Alcaraz level quite yet. Don't rush yourself in here. You can't slide on a hard court and get to impossible shots quite yet, Tommy Paul. Hey, listen, a big 3 with Tommy Paul, Sinner, and Alcaraz, sign me the hell up. Serve out wide. That's too good. Return into the ground. Advantage to Dimitrov. Hey, how's it going, Sean? I often reminisce about all the epic 3-setters over the year. Exactly. Listen, there have been some good ones, but that's not exactly. It's 5 sets. On the men's sides, the 5 sets that are just. Those are the ones that those are the ones. The vast majority. Those are the ones that you remember. There's it just is what it is. Forehand, cross court, forehand. Dimitrov, that's in the net. Deuce. I mean, whether it's Verdasco versus Rafa, Australian Open, Borg McEnroe, Lendl versus Becker, Federer versus Rafa, Joker, Nadal, Australian Open, Wawrinka, Djokovic, Australian Open, Sinner, Alcaraz, U.S. Open. It just keeps going. Those are the ones, Del Potro, Djokovic, and Wimbledon. Those are the ones that just go up that extra level. Federer, Djokovic. Great smash from Dimitrov. Paul doesn't do enough with the lob. I feel like Dimitrov's doing well on the serving from the deuce side in general. And Paul was not able to. He goes for a one-handed backhand there, but he can't get enough on it. Some great points played already. Can Dimitrov hold here and maybe, there you go, an ace out wide, just like Tommy Paul did in the last game, 4-2. Great hold. Great hold. Hey, how's it going, Joe? Nice to see you in the chat. Nice to see you joining into the streams. Your argument is men dominate the Grand Slam schedule and get way more TV time than women with their matches. Also, as seen as RG night matches, men always get chosen to fill the slot. Yes, that will be the argument. But it's just I just think that best of five, taking away best of five, is a non-starter. I just think it is. I would love it if women would also play best of five. But even if not, I mean, women's tennis is great, I think, in its own right. With playing best of three, I don't think it needs to change. The scheduling is something. I think that Roland Garros should not do that, honestly, despite maybe it being better, probably, because people are going to want to see women's matches the same way. So that could solve for that. And then, yeah, I mean, the scheduling is a problem, yeah, but to me, it's just a non-starter. You have to get through the difficulties and find a way to include it in. And I would love it, like I said, if women could play best of five. But I mean, I think it's good right now. I mean, I think women's tennis is getting, I don't know, like, I don't know, it's not ideal, but anyway, I don't know. There are issues, but it's a necessity for the sport. I mean, the day that we take away best of five is the day that we've just completely just lost the plot with the sport. And as only speaking in terms of like men's tennis and the quality that it brings when you compare best of three to best of five. I think that's right off the baseline from Tommy Paul again. Great length of the court from Tommy Paul, finding incredible depth. Really working the court nicely there of Tommy Paul. Striking the ball extremely well off either side. First serve into the net from Paul. Second serve. Forehand Dimitrov. The forehand to Paul. Down the line. Backhand slice Dimitrov. The backhand to Paul. Backhand Dimitrov. Down the middle. Forehand to Paul. Goes out. It's a break point for Dimitrov. Do we have a match here on our hands in the first set? And listen, it all comes down to that 4-1 game. It looked like it could have been a breadstick set, but Dimitrov really gritted down his teeth. And that's in a game of such small margins where you, even being a little bit less locked in or a little bit less confident in even just one shot and a point can tilt you from winning a game to losing a game. That game could be a big factor in this one. And Tommy Paul hits a let on the first serve. Because that's really what tennis is. It's so just everything counts. Small margin. Especially at this highest level. Serve here, Tommy Paul. Backhand across court. The backhand of Paul. Forehand. Backhand of Paul. The backhand slice Dimitrov. That's in the net. Grigor. It's in the net. Deuce. It would be like reducing the length of the Tour de France or cutting down boxing to 6 rounds. The whole point of 5 sets is it's meant to be a test. Exactly, 100%. It's meant to make tennis. People respect tennis because of the 5-setters. People watch the slams. Or people give a lot more respect to tennis because it's 5 sets, I should say. Like, I don't know. The quality in men's tennis when you play 5 sets as opposed to 3 sets, you have to have the 5 sets. Like nothing beats a 5-setter. The best 5-setter will always be better than the best 3-setter. Always. And more importantly, the vast majority of best of 5 is better than the vast majority of best of 3. And it's just very clear. And there's no reason for it not to be. Like I said, it accentuates everything that's good about tennis. You don't get that 4th set tiebreaker where one person is trying to win the match, the other person is trying to prolong it to the very end, to the edge for a 5-setter in a best of 3. You don't get the twists and turns. You don't get the up and down. You don't get the physical battle over 5 hours. Wow, that goes out from Paul. Hits the net cord and goes out. So back to deuce. All right, I've talked enough about the best of 5. Let me know in the chat, what do you think is going to be Tommy Paul's highest career high ranking? I think there's a lot of different answers for this question. Like, I've seen a lot of different opinions on Tommy Paul. So let me know in the chat, what's going to be Paul's highest ranking? Just throw out a number, even if you don't want to think about it. Just throw out a number in the chat. But honestly, I'd prefer it if you think about it, because it'd be kind of weird if you just throw out a random number. Just being honest. But you can do what you want. You have free will. I hope. Forehand of Paul, the backhand Dimitrov, backhand Paul. Cross court, backhand slice Dimitrov, forehand Paul. Inside out to the backhand Dimitrov, cross court, backhand Paul down the line, forehand. Dimitrov goes behind Paul. It's a backhand slice now. All their skills on display, working the full court. Nobody coming to net though. Backhand slice of Paul, the backhand slice Dimitrov, slices out wide on that ad side. Backhand slice now into that ad side. Backhand slice. Forehand big. Forehand down the line. Oh, what an exquisite rally from the two. Honestly, that might be one of the rallies of the year. That was exceptional. That was exceptional. Okay, I don't know if it was one of the rallies of the year, but that was maybe the best rally of the year where nobody comes to net. Like, just in terms of striking the ball from the back of the court and defending, that was exquisite. What a finish. Oh my God, you guys see that one? 10 out of 10. Wow, Dimitrov struggled to even stay in the point. He is gritting down here. He was kneeling down after that point, though. Let's see how much he has in the tank. That's why Tommy Paul goes to serve right away. He's like, all right, are you tired? Let me just serve real quick. Second serve, backhand slice, Dimitrov. Let me see if he can hit over it here a little bit. Backhand Paul, forehand Dimitrov runs around a backhand, leaves a lot of space, but he's still on the offensive. Backhand slice, cross court. The backhand Paul. Dimitrov slides, but he can't get to that one. That's in the ground from Dimitrov. Deuce. This is fun. Do you have any updates on Collins extending her career? Well, she's playing United Cup. So that's hilarious. Whole season, she's like, all these haters and people telling me that I should not retire, or not even haters, but people telling me I should not retire. I know myself better, and which is fine, but it's just like, that's so funny that now after all of that, saying farewell at every tournament, she's like, no, actually, I'll be back. Hey, sorry about that. Technical difficulties on my side. Sorry. My bad. That was just me falling over. No, it wasn't. All right, advance cheer for Tommy Paul. Backhand Paul, the backhand slice Dimitrov, forehand Paul. Backhand Dimitrov. Forehand Paul. Backhand Dimitrov down the line. What a shot. Yeah, I felt like he had that lined up. This is so good right now. Take this in, because this might be the highest level we're going to see in the match between both players. Crowd is getting treated to a great final. What a thing of the crowd as well. What a shot. Serve, Paul. Forehand of Dimitrov. Forehand of Paul. That goes out, and that's all Tommy Paul being like, holy crap, how did you hit that backhand? Let me just a lack of confidence, because it's like because Dimitrov's going to be able to hit an outrageous winner on no matter what I do. After that outrageous forehand and that long rally, and after that backhand, Tommy Paul might lose this point just because he's like, man, the guy on the other side is playing like an absolute machine right now. Very high percentage serve and volley. And that's exactly what happens. Tommy Paul loses the game because Dimitrov hits 2 outrageous shots in a row, and then he kind of just chokes the next 2 points. Wow. He was close to losing the set 6-1. He was down 4-1 in a couple break points, and he's now at 4-3. Dimitrov is a fighter. 4-3. Grigor, he can't net that shot on break point. He's recovered well, though, now. Touchdown points. Wow, incredible point, but may have killed Grigor going forward. I mean, what a fight from Dimitrov here that it has not been. I'm going to go with 6. That's high. That's high, Sean. I'm going to go with 6 is a good shout, actually, because I feel like that might be possible. It's hard to say. I mean, he might have a Grand Slam final in him, Tommy Paul. And we see how that's affected Taylor Fritz's ranking. 6 is a good shout. I might steal your answer, to be honest. I mean, I'm kind of torn. This sounds weird, but I'm kind of torn between like number 8 and number 5. I'm gonna go with 5. Screw it. Why not? I'm gonna go with 5. I don't think he'll be there very long. Don't think he'll be there very long, but I'm gonna go with 5. Maybe he makes a slam final. Maybe he wins a big tournament at some point, a Masters or something. And he's pretty consistent. I'm gonna go with number 5. Why not? I'd rather go with 5. 12, I think, Joe. Okay. Wait. Oh, what's been Paul's best ranking? Okay. Because I was like, can't go with 6 and 12. Yeah, so his best rank so far has been number 12. Yep. Thanks, Sean, for the answer there. He still has not been top 10. Back, and what a get from Paul. Lob. That goes out. 15 love. Fantastic set so far. The quality has been so high, particularly since 4-1 break point. I mean, until then, Paul was playing incredible, but Dimitrov's really lifted since then. It's not like Dimitrov was playing the worst tennis of all time before then, but he was very, very exhausted looking. Good fight from Dimitrov, to say the least. Forehand cross court, forehand to Paul, down the line, backhand slice Dimitrov. Forehand inside out, backhand Dimitrov, forehand cross court, forehand Dimitrov. Wow, I mean, neither of those shots counted for anything, but Dimitrov nearly got a great forehand shot that just missed the baseline. Then Paul with a great bit of skill there, but alas, does not count. 15-all. Both these guys are very locked in and producing some of their best shot making. It's a big tournament for both players. Tommy Paul could win his 3rd title of the year, and I'm gonna look up for Dimitrov, but Tommy Paul's 4th title overall and his 3rd title of the year. That'd be a big moment for Tommy Paul to win 3 titles in 1 year. That's not something that people do that often. Is win 3 titles in a year. It'd be a big moment. Especially one of those being a 500 as well, by the way. Forehand chip, backhand slice, Dimitrov, the backhand slice of Paul, forehand of Paul. What? Oh my God. Dimitrov nearly on the ground. Wow, these points are so good. Just absolutely exquisite. 15-30. Good stuff. Good stuff. The athleticism of these guys, the athleticism of Paul, just to be able to get his body weight right and get his balance right, and to while he's running like that, and to go with it down the line, like crazy to do that. These guys are both exceptional athletes. Tommy Paul goes for another forehand return winner, but he doesn't make that one. He's 2-1 with that, I think. This is Tommy Paul's 7th final. Like I said, these two haven't played since 2020, but that's an absolute crime seeing how good this is so far. First time they've played in a best-of-3 match. Their 2 matches were Australian Open and US Open. Yeah, Dimitrov, this is his 21st final. He's looking for the 10th title of his career, Grigor. Another big moment this would be. And Dimitrov has only won 1 title since his ATP Finals victory at the end of 2017. That was Brisbane at the start of the year. This would be so huge for Dimitrov. I think it would be bigger for Grigor than it would be for Paul. Especially what it would take for him to win this match. With how he's looking physically, the semifinal he played, even how he was down just now in the first set. So we'll see how he fights here. Break point for Paul. Forehand, the backhand slice of Dimitrov, backhand slice of Paul. Forehand Dimitrov, backhand of Paul. Forehand Dimitrov, Down the middle, forehand to Paul, accelerates on that one. Another injection of pace. Dimitrov, great placement. All over the court, and Tommy Paul, the American, with a strong break in Stockholm. With a strong break in Stockholm. It was Gael Monfils taking the title last year. Tommy Paul wants to take the title this year. I don't know what it is with Stockholm and rewarding great athleticism, but last year was Monfils who won it, and this year we've got Dimitrov and Tommy Paul in the final. Easily three of the best movers and athletes we've had in the game over the last decade. 5-3 for Paul, serving for the first set. Great regroup from Tommy Paul, to say the least. He is very locked in today. And I hope the quality keeps going. I hope it's not like a 6-3, 6-1. Although Tommy Paul keeps this level and Dimitrov doesn't have enough in the tank, it's not impossible. Let's hope that's not the case, though. 44 minutes played already. 15 love. Love 15. A lot of shots exchanged from the backcourt. These guys are very capable of coming to net, but we're seeing more shots from the backcourt than anything. A lot of backcourt rallies. Kick serve, back into Grigor down the middle. Forehand. It's very short in the court. Dimitrov can't miss that forehand. It's 15-all. Dimitrov just can't miss that forehand. By the way, guys, please don't forget to subscribe to Quality Shot Tennis if you have not already. For more tennis streams like this one, more tennis content, and cool stuff. Slice serve from Paul. Great return from Dimitrov. Backhand goes out. Shocked by the return of Grigor, who was not shocked by the slice serve. Paul did not make it very shocking, to be fair. $15.30. Tommy Paul with yet another kind of loose forehand error inside out. That might be kind of his Achilles heel, at least in this match, is that forehand inside out. Great serve down the tee, though. 30-all. 30-all. As Matthew in the chat was mentioning, Dimitrov at times has been struggling with that deuce side return. We'll see if he can kind of see if he can keep on the streak he's been in this game, where he's won both of those points. At least make that return and play here. Oh, he does. Great return. Backhand slice, big point, important point. Backhand slice goes up. 30-40 for Dimitrov. Honestly, it's one of my favorite sets I've watched, I think, since the U.S. Open kind of ended. Great stuff. Very good stuff. I mean, the Asian swing was a lot of fun as well, to be fair. But I'm enjoying this a lot. Forehand Dimitrov, forehand of Paul. Forehand Dimitrov, backhand Paul. Backhand Dimitrov slice. Forehand of Paul. Backhand Dimitrov. Backhand Paul. It's in the net. Dimitrov twice in a row. Are you kidding me? 5-4. Wow. Grigor has some fight left in him yet. Wow, crazy. 8 for me. Okay. I was going to say 8 at first. That was going to be my guess. I was going to say 8 at first, and then I thought about it more, and I'm like, I just have a sneaky feeling. I think he'll be like number 8 in the world longer than he'll be number 5. But if we're talking about career high, he might get to number 5 through some really good career tournament. He might have a really good result somewhere. I also like him on every surface. There's not a surface I don't like Tommy Paul on. Outdoor hard courts, fire. Indoor hard courts, fire. Grass courts, love it. Guy won Queens this year. Clay, he performed great on clay this year. Got to the semis of Rome. And won Junior French Open. And I like him on every surface. Now, I don't think he's ever going to win the French Open. But for him to have a good result at Australian Open, US Open, or Wimbledon, and especially some of the Masters tournaments, like, I expect he could have a really good run somewhere. So I'm gonna go with number 5 career high, but he might be number 8 or 9, 10, or even 12 in the world a little bit longer. He'd have to win a few 500s or a Masters to get to 6. I mean, yes, probably both. Grigor still feeling it from that previous game. Needs some aces big time. That was a while ago. That comment. All right, 4-5. Serve from Dimitrov. How's this set going to end off? Superb set. Does Dimitrov have more in the tank left? It seems like his tank is infinite. Serve down T is an ace. 15 love. Team love. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Watching some sports this morning or evening. I mean, it's different times everywhere. We have so many people watching from so many different spots. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the new Tennis Era podcast that's on the channel. By the way, I'm hoping that's going to be weekly. I'm excited for that. There's going to be other videos coming as well. You're forever an optimist, Anthony. I am. That's true. That's facts. Serve. That's in the net. Second serve from Dimitrov. Terrible second serve. Forever an optimist as I insult Dimitrov's serve, who's one of the best servers in the world. Terrible second serve. Double fault. 15-30. Tommy Paul 2 points away from taking the first set. Terrible serve. That's not good, but it also just shows that Dimitrov might not have that much left in the tank. Served on T is much better. It's a great return from Paul. He's on it right now. Forehand to Paul. Backhand Dimitrov. Tommy Paul just raising his intensity up to a 10. And it's 15-40. Understanding the importance of this moment. He probably was playing at a 10 and then he was like, nah, I have a little bit more. And he's like, I'm going to give that a little bit more. 15-40. Great movement from Tommy Paul to cover that return and hit over it. 2 set points for the American and what's been a blockbuster first set. Forehand to Paul. Forehand of Dimitrov. That goes out. 6-4 first set for Tommy Paul. Totally incredible set from Tommy Paul. Fantastic level. Good level from Dimitrov as well, but Tommy Paul played a great first set. All right, don't go anywhere. I'll be back in a minute. I'll be back for the second set. Bring back carpet and wood, and Tommy would be good on that too. Exactly. I don't even know. How does wood court play like? I honestly don't really know. Backing down the line, forehand Dimitrov. What a point. Oh my God. What a point. That is absolutely insane. That was crazy. That was insane. Show a replay. Those are the kind of points that are not going to be as replayed, but that was probably the craziest point in the match so far. People like the longer points. People don't appreciate the shorter points that are like 4 or 5 shots, but that was ridiculous. Great serve from Paul, 40 love. I want to see a replay of that. Grigor still, yeah. Tommy needs to learn some manners and respect his elders first, Wawrinka, now Dimitrov. Exactly. I mean, I don't even care about the elders thing. Respect the one-handed backhand. Tommy Paul just hates the one-handed backhand. If Tommy Paul had Federer in front of him, oh, it's over. 6-2, 6-1. Tommy Paul had McEnroe in front of him, 6-0, 6-0. Tommy Paul just hates one-handed backhand players, apparently. Just a lot, just victims, victim after victim. Respect the one-handers. Respect your one-handers. That's what they always say. I hate it's my biggest pet peeve in tennis, maybe. One of my biggest pet peeves in tennis is I have 2 huge pet peeves in tennis. One is when people call a time violation for absolutely no reason on like the most important point in the match. Like only on the most important point in the match. It's like, come on. And then the other one is the fact that the people who are controlling the replays in tennis never show the replays for the right stuff. They never do. Like if they play a great rally and then the last shot is an unforced error, not going to show a replay, even if it's the best point in the match. If a point is like 3 shots, sometimes they often won't even show a replay, even if it's the best point in the match. And like, there's so many other things too, like the replays and like court level. What is that? What's it called? Like the court level angles. Like I don't know, like it's annoying. I feel like the actual visual coverage of tennis could be better. Is that what it's called? Why do I feel like that's wrong? Court level angle? That is what it's called. 40 love Dimitrov. Serve into the net. Backhand slice, Dimitrov, forehand to Paul. Forehand Dimitrov, backhand Paul, forehand Dimitrov. That goes out, 40-15. Serve Dimitrov. Backhand Paul, forehand Dimitrov, forehand to Paul. It's in the net. 1-1. Good stuff. I still want to see that ridiculous second point in the set. That was nuts. Backhand slice into the net from Dimitrov, 15 love. Looking very wary and tired, Dimitrov, on that shot. Serve into the net. Second serve. Dirty love. Anthony, did you watch the Novak versus Rafa match? Yeah, I was watching a little bit of it. I was out though. So yesterday I had I was out all day. I woke up at 6:30 in the morning, and I played a tennis match real early, which I was happy I won. It was a tough match actually. I kind of played well, kind of really bad though. I don't know. It was weird. At times I played really well, but like there were other times where I just felt like I was playing so badly. It was a very up and down match. 6-3, 7-6 scoreline. We came back from 3-0 down in the second set though, which was good. Last week I played the craziest tennis match I think I've ever played, and that says a lot because I've played some crazy tennis matches in my day. Even my first tournament that I played, or my second tournament that I played, first 12 and under tournament that I played, I remember maybe 10 and under. I think first 12 and under that I played. The first match I ever played was against this I can't remember his name. It was a Chinese kid. I can't remember his name. I wish I did. But it was 10-8 in the third set tiebreaker. We didn't play out a full third set, but that was a crazy match by itself. I've always played crazy matches. Tennis is fun. I love playing tennis. But last week I think is the craziest tennis match I've ever played. It was crazy. Like legitimately, I had to write down in my notes afterwards to make sure I remember all the crazy things that happened in the match. But 3.5 hours, and we were midway through the third set. 3.5 hours, and we were midway through the third set. It was 3-2, and then the other guys had to forfeit because they didn't feel well after playing such a long match. It was 3-2 default. And we were down 5. We lost the first set, and we were down 5-4, 15-40, double match point down, and we came back and we were very clutch and we won those points. My partner really carried honestly in that game, but I felt good too. We both did well. We both did well. There were some crazy rallies down match point. I was rallying. I remember thinking down match point, if I save this and then come back, this is a crazy point to remember. And then that happened. But you always have to believe in those moments. When I was down the first match point, I remember saying to my partner, first of all, I felt like we shouldn't be losing. But I remember saying to my partner, okay, come on, we got this. Let's keep fighting. Let's build some momentum. That was when we lost the point at 15-30, then went down 15-40. And yeah, that's exactly what we did. Never give up, never what? Never give up, never what? Is that what the thing is? No, never back down, never. Why can't I not remember? My brain's not working. That's all good. It's too early for this. Backhand cross court. Never back down, never what? That's the thing. It could be top 10, but exactly, you definitely can. But it's so hard to predict outside the top 4 or 5 players. Runa, Rublev, Hubie, Steph, Fritz, Demore, Musetti, Feast. All guys that feel like they should be top 10 to 12. Yeah, kind of. I don't know. Mm, so I'll be honest. I feel like I'm not that ecstatic about the depth in the top 10 to 15. I'm very high on the depth in the top 100 in the world. I think the guys there's so many dangerous guys now, but I think the depth, okay, so I think Sinner and Alcaraz are very solid. Novak is solid, but I think outside of those 3 guys right now, I don't know if I'm that high on the depth in the top 15. I think the depth in the top 10 was clearly higher. Top 10, 15 was clearly higher about a decade ago. About a year or two, I would have contested that idea, but now I think it's pretty obvious with Del Potro, Wawrinka in their primes, et cetera, et cetera. But Ferrer, but Songa. But I do think the depth in the top 100 is better than it's ever been. I think the depth in the top 100 is better than it's ever been. So I don't know if I quite feel like that where it's hard to climb up that much. I think any of these guys kind of has a chance to climb up. To be honest, that's how I feel. Outside of Sinner and Alcaraz, I feel like outside of that, those spots, maybe Novak too right now. Outside of that, right now it feels like it's pretty for the taking. That's how I feel. Backhand in the net from Dimitrov. Paul could Take the advantage here for 15-40. Dimitrov on the brink, exactly. What is your greatest tennis comeback of all time in tennis? That's a good question, Joe. It might be that. It's definitely up there. But I'm always fighting. I'm always fighting. I'm always competing. My opponents have saved match points against me too, and that's hella annoying. A guy saved like 4 match points against me when I was like 14 with cramps, and it was the worst thing in the world. Lob whip high. Dimitrov smash. Paul, oh, he missed the lob, I think. It just goes out. 30-40. It might be that. I can't remember a better one, just to be honest. It might be that. But it's also hard for me to remember because I stopped playing tennis for 5 years. I stopped playing for 5 years. I had lots of crazy matches in juniors, but I can't remember a lot of them. No, I had some pretty crazy ones, but I don't remember the exact situations. I wish I was better at remembering. But I've had some good comebacks, no doubt. I remember I played this one clay tournament in high school, and I had a good comeback there. I can't remember the exact score though. And I had a good comeback too, where I threw up after the match ended. I vomited all over the court. Battle scars, I guess. I don't know. Showing how crazy the match was. That was good. The comeback there, not the vomiting, wasn't particularly fun. Wouldn't do it again. Wouldn't recommend. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Honestly, the best comeback I can remember is that one, the one that I had last week, down 2 match points. It was a really good comeback. My opponents were good too, but it's probably not really the best one I've had. I just don't remember the other ones because they're too long ago. I don't have the best memory, to be honest. Sometimes my memory with professional tennis is, for whatever reason, really good. My memory with a lot of other stuff is not the best. But from my memory, that's the best one that I can remember. Backhand cross court, backhand of Paul. Very good. Cross court. No, it goes out. My apologies. Goes out from Tommy Paul. I didn't hear the out call. Looked into me. Okay, it is out. It is out. 2-2. Dimitrov holds. Tommy Paul misses the backhand. How's it going, MJ? How are you doing? I got gifted a membership. Hell yeah. Who was gifted memberships? Good to have you in here, though. Thank you, whoever. Shout out to whoever. That's great. How are you doing? Have you been enjoying the tennis this week? I'm wearing a tennis sweater that I got from Newport. Emphasis Tennis Hall of Fame, which is fun. Oh, I was gonna mention I didn't watch all of Djokovic and Nadal because I was busy all day. I woke up at 6:30. I played a tennis match, won that, and then I had an improv practice for like 4 hours. And then later I went to Netherworld, which is an awesome haunted house place. More than just a haunted house, it's like a Halloween extravaganza right nearby in Atlanta, which I went to last year too. But this year it was even way better than it was last year. Last year was great, but this year it was just awesome. So I was out all day yesterday, just doing fun stuff. So I didn't really. I was watching Djokovic and Nadal like on my phone, but I wasn't able to watch all of it. I did see Nadal saving the match points though, and that was awesome to see. I watched some of it, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. The Olympics for me is their last meeting, but it was nice to have. That's how I view it. Nice to have them in front of a big crowd, but to me, the Olympics was their last meeting. Tom Paul misses the first serve well wide. Forehand in the net from Dimitrov. I just want to see that second point in the set again. I'll be honest. I kind of my eyes were off the screen for a second, and I missed the first couple shots of the rally. I just want to see that rally in full because it was crazy. Maybe Tennis TV's posted on Twitter now, but it was a great some successive shots. It was out. But yeah, I really enjoy playing tennis. I enjoy playing tennis more than anything else related to tennis. I always feel like I've had a special connection with the sport. I mean, when I was younger, I dreamed of winning Grand Slams. I would be on the court and imagine myself winning Wimbledon's, which doesn't seem like that's how it's going to pan out. But, I'm still in the sport. I'm still engaged with the sport in a way. I love playing it. Um, I feel like I have a talent for the sport. I enjoy talking about the sport, which is fun. Forehand cross court, very good from Tommy Paul. Goes to 3-2. And it's fun. So, um, but yeah, I really enjoy playing. I mean, I have a one-handed backhand, which I really enjoy hitting. I have a one-handed forehand. I used to play with two hands on both sides, which is something I mentioned before. But I really love crazy shot making. It's my favorite thing in tennis. I love going for crazy shots. I love fighting. I love making the impossible possible and really annoying the hell out of my opponents by how many shots I'm getting back and how I'm fighting for everything. Um, yeah, just never stop fighting, ever, ever, ever. Never stop fighting. Um, and yeah, it was fun. I mean, yesterday I played the last match of my current Alta season. My team's not going to playoffs. Like I said, I've won 5 consecutive matches, but my team at line 1, but my team has not been doing very well. We've run into pretty good teams this year, even though we're not at the highest level, but the teams at this level have been pretty good. They're pretty consistent. Like their line 5s are very close to level to their line 2s or line 1s even. So, but it's fun. I mean, I enjoy playing. When I play, I try to I'm very inspired by Federer, honestly. Like Federer to me was just like he I don't know. When I think of tennis, I think of Federer, and when I play, I try my best to kind of emulate that magic, even though I can never get within even the world of what that was. But I like how what you can do is try to do that. I can't do it, but I can try to do that, and that's fun. Um, and yeah, I just enjoyed playing. My captain yesterday told me that he loves watching me play and annoying the hell out of my opponents by running down every ball. And I play with a lot of passion. I'm just out there yelling, come on, and jumping around and really thinking strategy. And I love every bit of that. I love that competitive aspect. I love it. There's something about it that just drives me. Um, there's nothing, I mean, to me, it's like, I don't know. It's interesting. I really enjoy playing. Second serve here from Dimitrov. Third 15, Dimitrov going for the serve, sending on the outside. Serve down the middle, backhand Paul, the backhand Dimitrov, forehand to Paul, inside out. Backhand Dimitrov down the line. I will say, if Paul's had any Achilles heel today, it's been the forehand inside out. And I've seen that before with Tommy Paul. It's not his best shot. He can kind of struggle getting finding his way around the ball, and he can kind of just be a little bit awkward on that shot, get a little bit too close to it. His positioning around that shot isn't the best. So if Dimitrov could expose that a little bit, if he could expose that a little bit, then we could have something on our hands. Serve Dimitrov. First serve in the net. Second serve from Dimitrov. Backhand down the line. Backhand slice Grigor. Backhand Paul. Backhand Dimitrov. Slice down the line. Forehand Paul. Backhand Dimitrov. Backhand slice. Backhand Dimitrov. The forehand Paul. That goes out. 3-3. 3 games apiece here. It's been a minute. Yeah, it's good to have you in the chat. Saw so many costumes today. Hell yeah. I love the Halloween thing in the air. And I saw so many costumes yesterday at Netherworld. Maybe I'll post some pics to the Discord of some funny photos I took yesterday on the QualityShot Tennis Discord. Lexi gifted 10 memberships yesterday. Okay, makes sense. Hello, you from Ukraine? No, I'm not. I'm not Ole. I'm from the United States. Thought Halloween was October 31st. Halloween is just the whole month. What are you talking about? Halloween is October 1st to October 31st. Straight up. Actually, it's September 1st to October 31st. Actually, it's January 1st to December 31st. Halloween is year long, baby. I love Halloween. I love Halloween. I want it to be all the time, everywhere. For me, October should just be renamed Halloween. Like, my birthday's in October, and I'd care less about it. Like screw my birthday. I care about Halloween. Like, my birthday's dead in the middle of October. My birthday was 4 days ago. My birthday was 4 days ago. I turned 24 years old. I had birthday celebrations for that. 2 days ago, I played disc golf, which I love doing with a couple of buddies, my brother. So, 40 love Tommy. Just some fun stuff going on recently. Serve Paul. Kick serve. Backhand Dimitrov flattens out the backhand down the line very nicely. Very nice. Very nice. 40-15. Serve here, Tommy Paul. Backhand Dimitrov gets it. Forehand inside out. That goes out. 40-30. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. That's it, guys. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share around, all that stuff. Hello, Ukraine. Yeah, exactly. It's good to have global community all taking part. And listen, I'm always praying for Ukraine and for parts of the world that are currently under a lot of where there's a lot of pain right now. It's hard to make a living from tennis, so be proud of being part of that community. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I appreciate that. Do you celebrate Halloween? Yeah, I love it. Happy birthday, Anthony. You kept that quiet. Yeah, I'm notorious for that, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. I get shy telling people that's my birthday. But yeah, I turned 24 years old. It's the weirdest I felt turning any age, legit. I was like, it's the first time where I was like, this feels fake. Like, I should not be 24. That feels wrong. But it's fine. I'm happy with it, I guess. I feel kind of old in my own way, but anyway, it's fine. I was going to say something else with what I was talking about earlier, but I can't remember what I was going to say. I lost my train of thought. But that's all good. Let me know, by the way, if you have a prediction for Tommy Paul's career high ranking that you have not said yet. And you haven't said it yet. Six four four three. Can Tommy Paul put some finishing touches on what's been a really good match? Or does Dimitrov have some fight left in him yet? I kind of feel like the latter is going to be what happens. Well, let's see. It's not been that long of a second set so far, to be fair, which I think will help Dimitrov. Forehand, cross court, forehand to Paul, down the line, backhand Dimitrov, cross court, backhand to Paul. Backhand Dimitrov down the line, forehand to Paul. These rallies are so good. Backhand Dimitrov, the backhand to Paul. Backhand Dimitrov, drop shot, backhand Paul, that goes wide. When people say the level of tennis is not high nowadays, just watch this match so far. Like, holy crap. Like, yeah, you might prefer people come into net a little bit more, but the way these guys can get around the ball and place it all over the court with slices, with dinks, with like just like all kinds of different shots, it's just like amazing. Double fault from Dimitrov. Tommy Paul is 7 points away from his 4th ATP title and his 3rd of the year. If Tommy Paul does win the tournament, okay, so I'll give you the ranking update for both of them. So Dimitrov is going to be at number 9 in the world no matter what. Climbs ahead of Alex de Minaur. And if he wins the tournament, he'll be just 70 points behind Casper Ruud for number 8 in the world. If Tommy Paul wins the tournament, then he'll be just about 190 points behind Tsitsipas at number 11. He'll be about 350 points behind the top 10 in the world. About 350 points, Tommy Paul, behind the top 10 in the world. Including de Minaur, who I think did well in Paris last year, question mark? Is that right? I feel like he did. He beat Medvedev, right? I feel like that's what he did. He did beat Medvedev, but did he... I'm pretty sure. Paris Masters 2023 men's singles. Felt like de Minaur made a quarterfinal there or something. He did. De Minaur made the quarterfinal, lost to Rublev in 3 sets. There you go. Chance here for Tommy Paul, by the way. I'm not really looking, but it's a couple break points. First serve completely missed wide from Dimitrov, and it looks like Tommy Paul could very well get his 4th title. Backhand, big return. Wow, some big shots from Tommy Paul. Wow. Crazy. Sorry, my eyes left the screen for a little bit. Which did not expect Paul to make that fast of a turnaround, but a great forehand that kind of forces a backhand slice into the net from Dimitrov at 15-30. And then at 15-all, Dimitrov with just a forehand that just misses the sideline. So really poor, kind of a mix of a poor game from Dimitrov and a great game from Paul, but I was not, yeah, that's not a great game from Dimitrov there. All right, we got 15 love. Tommy Paul, 3 points away from taking his 4th title in Stockholm in what's been a really high-quality match. Really high quality. I mean, this is the number 10 and like what, number 12, number 13 in the world going at it, and they're playing at this level. Which says a lot. 30 love. Tommy Paul 2 points away. Serve. It's into the net. Second serve. That's a double fault. Okay, Dimitrov still hanging on by a thread, small thread. Was that your impression of Borat, Anthony? Very, very nice. Very nice. Borat's funny. Hey, how's it going, Lexi? Borat's very funny. This is our birthday month, right, Anthony? Yes, October. Hell yeah. You know it, Lexi. October's supremacy. Is this Paul's best season? Yes. Anthony, do you like Paul or Fritz? Oh my God, that's such a tough question. I think Fritz, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. Like I try to be honest. I think I like Fritz. But Tommy Paul is the more popular option. I totally see why. Both of them are 2 of my favorite players on tour. I just there's something about Fritz. I really always want to support him. Also, I've interviewed Fritz, which is that's insane. But back in cross court, back in slice of Paul, forehand of Paul, cross court. Tommy Paul picks up a 4th title in Stockholm. Gets his 3rd title of 2023. He was locked in the whole time. Very high quality, outrageous shot making. What a high quality final. Tommy Paul putting on a blazing performance. And he's gonna be top 10 in the world at some point. It would seem. The question is when. And he's only getting better and better. This guy, hell of a season. Lexi, I'm pretty sure you were. I mean, you've been saying good things about Tommy Paul. So, if I remember correctly, and hell of a season from Tommy. Correct me if I'm wrong about that one, Lexi, but I think you were. GG. Yeah, thanks, Joe. I appreciate it. Don't go yet. Wait. Okay. But yeah, Paul and Fritz are 2 of my favorites. I'm one of the few guys that just really supports Taylor a lot and likes watching him. But more than I like watching him, I don't think he's like one of the most fun to watch. My unpopular opinion is that Casper Ruud is one of my favorites to actually watch, like in terms of his abilities on court and the way he plays. Taylor Fritz is not. He's probably one of the least entertaining top 10 players we've had in a while, to be honest. But I really enjoy watching Taylor Fritz because he's a very good player. He doesn't get the respect he deserves. I really like his personality. And I like the fight and grit that he shows on court. And I think that he's going to do big things down the road. And I've thought that for a long time. So I've interviewed him. I like Taylor. I don't know. He's always been very likable to me. I want to see that second point of the set because it was outrageous. Great end, by the way, with Tommy Paul hitting a forehand winner. Some incredible shot making throughout this match. For real. Just an amazing display of shot making. Are you doing the WTA finals, the ATP finals? Hell yeah. I'll try to. Paul can finish this year number 10 at this rate. 100%. 100%. I expect him to. I expect him to pass Dimitrov. And then what's the race? Right? Let me look at the race. That matters more right now. Live ATP race. Yeah, Tommy Paul is 10th in the race. In fact, he's ahead of Dimitrov. He's going to be ahead of Dimitrov, so it'll be 9th. Hurkacz is there. I think that Tommy Paul is going to finish top 10. I think he could even finish number 9, but more likely number 10. But I think he'll finish top 10. I think Grigor Dimitrov's good. I think Tommy Paul's going to finish top 10 in the world. It's getting close. Shout out to Jeff Sackman. Wait up, I'm here. I'm here, Lexi. I'm here. What was I saying? Oh, shout out Jeff Sackman. Tennis Abstract. Great. If you don't know this, now you know, or you will know after I say it in about 5 seconds. Tommy Paul, not Tommy Paul, what am I saying? Jeff Sackman has a website called Tennis Abstract where on it he has career high rankings where it says next up. So these are the highest ranked people that have not been top 10 in the world yet. So Tommy Paul is number 12 in the world. He's the highest ranked person that's yet to be top 10. Ben Shelton, also in the mix. Hugo Humbert, also in the mix. And then it also has that for top 20, top 30, top 40, top 50, top 100, top 200, top 300, 400, 500, etc., etc. Incredible page. Very, very useful for tennis. And we needed something like that in tennis. So shout out to that if you want to check that out as well. I'd rather see Paul at the finals than Hubie. Yeah, I think most people would. But Tommy Paul is one of the most fun people to watch in a long time. He's so fun to watch. Tommy Paul and Dimitrov at the ATP finals would be very exciting. I hope he can make it. Listen, if Tommy Paul does well in Paris, he could get there. He could get there. Rublev and Casper are pretty within reach. Pretty much within reach. I want Dimitrov and Paul to get there. And maybe Rublev and Ruud get out. But I also want Casper to be there personally. But in terms of pure, like, what most people would want in terms of just pure fun to watch, like, I think that would be the ideal case. For me, my preference would be either Dimitrov or Paul takes Rublev's spot. No offense to Andre. That's crazy. Andre's 8th in the race. He's won a Masters title and he's gone to a Masters final this year and he's 8th in the race. Pretty crazy. Also Australian Open quarters. All right. I think I'm going to have to head out, Lexi. But I'll wait until your next comment because I don't want to I don't want to leave you while you're trying to do something. I don't always understand the race though. So, like, who still even has a chance of getting in? That's my question, right? Vienna, Basel, that's 500 points. And then let's say the 1,000 from Paris. I don't think there's anything past that, right? When does Paris start? That starts at the start of November? What is it, October 20th? So, wait, there might be one tournament in between there. Let me check. I need to check. Let me check the schedule. I don't have it memorized. Who still even has a possibility? Like, does Sebastian Corda even have a chance? A literal chance of making it, or is it done? Yeah, so it's Basel and Vienna and then Paris. So let's say, ideal case, you got 1,500 points. So who's number 8? Because you have to at least get what Rublev's is, 3620. So 3620, so 2120. So we're looking for players that have 2,120 points. So if my math is mathing, Sebastian Corda has no chance of making it. Well, he's not even playing this week, so he literally has no chance. But even Ben Shelton has no chance of making the ATP finals this year, even if he wins both those tournaments. I could have counted something wrong, but I don't see, at least on this live ATP rankings, that they're out of the race. Let me check on the official site if they have them crossed out yet. Let me check. Oh my God. I don't even know how much that is, but thank you so much. No, I mean, regardless of, thank you just for watching, but thank you for the donut. Wow. Hey, I appreciate you, Lexi. Hey. Big hugs from me. Hope you're doing well. I appreciate it. What's the next match? Tourney. Yeah, it's Basel and Vienna, which is fun. I'm hoping to do some draw predictions for that. Hey, big thank you, Lexi. I appreciate you. And thanks, MJ, for joining in too. You can go now. Okay. I've been given permission. I'm out. You're amazing, Lexi. 100%. Yeah, shout out to Lexi. All right. And shout out to all y'all for joining in. I'll see you guys later. Appreciate you, my friend. I'll catch you later. And yeah. All right. Tom and Paul, killing it. I'll see y'all for the next tournaments and matches. You'll still see my face around. Goodbye. See you in the next one.
you.